2 little boys, background in farming, sheep and horses, wonderful way of life, outdoors every day. But like so many people, I was working too hard to make somebody else wealthy. Can anybody relate to that in the room? Well, I knew that if I wanted my life to change, that I had to change. But what were my options? I looked at going back to uni to study to be a vet. That was a 7-year course, and I didn't have the luxury of taking 7 years out with 2 little boys. I looked at starting a traditional business. That required a lot of capital investment and no guarantee of success. I looked at franchising, which was pretty soulless, and it really didn't inspire me. And just when I thought there were no other options for me, good fortune came my way when a dear friend gave me a call and said, "Jayne, I think I found something." And some of you in this room who are here for the very first time tonight can relate to that somebody has invited you to look at something that they believe can be life-changing for you. So all those years ago, I looked at the company, looked at the products, looked at the marketing model, and didn't fully understand it, but it felt right in my heart. And I always believe we should follow our intuition, our gut instinct, and so we set about getting involved in Forever. Part-time, within literally a few weeks, we were making some nice second income, taking the financial pressure off the home. Within a few months, we were making very nice income, taking the financial pressure off the home. And within 8 months, I had replaced my full-time income of 18 years in farming. And it was at that point I realized I had my hands on something very, very special. Something that could not only change our lives, but be able to change other people's lives as well. And in this crazy world we live in today, it's so good to be able to look after yourself, but to make a difference in the lives of other people. So, when we think about what matters most to us, we have to understand that if we want to achieve something in life, we need a vehicle. I think we just shared with you an incredible overview of the company and the products, but what underpins the company and the product is a phenomenal marketing model. And that marketing model, I believe, is a bit like a banquet table. You decide what you want from it, and we will help you build that income that is relevant to you. Why has Forever been so successful? Why has Forever enjoyed 45 years of global growth, started by one man with a vision? Well, largely down to the fact that we have a phenomenal product, but a very simple marketing model. And that marketing model is based on the combined efforts of home-based Forever entrepreneurs, people like you and I, who have decided enough is enough, and it's time to do something for ourselves. We focus in 2 areas. We focus on sharing and developing a business, and we also focus on sharing a product. And when you bring those 2 activities together, magic begins to happen. Let's take a look at customers. Customers are the lifeblood of business, any business. Any company that wants to make a mark in the world, that has a great product, needs to get it out to the end user. And we have a very simple program that allows us to take product from the company and market directly to a consumer. And to give you an example of the return on that of your time, is we teach some very key disciplines. And one of those disciplines is we share with you very quickly how to develop 20 regular customers. And that for me was intriguing when I first saw it, because I had the impression that you had to have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of customers to build a substantial business. But no, this is a business about balance. And the balance is we share with you how to develop these customers. Now we know on average that a customer will spend around about £25 a head with you. Now some spend a lot more each month, and some spend a bit less. But we know on average that they'll spend £25, and we know that through the statistics on the computer every month, every quarter, every year in the Home Office. So these aren't figures plucked out of the sky, these are real figures based on activity. So if you've got 25 customers, if you've got 20 customers all spending £25 each per month, you've got a business turning over £500. Now the company will reward you typically between 30 to 48% of the turnover of your business. So if you look at that as an average, it's £150 to £300 per month just by using a product, loving it, and then going out and conversationally recommending it to others. Now you're probably thinking, well, that all sounds really good, Jayne, but where do I find my customers? And that was a question I asked when I first looked at Forever. Well, it's really, really simple because, you know, our customers are everywhere. They're your personal contacts. They're people that you know within your daily routine. This could be people you know in the office, in the gym, maybe when you're at church. It could be when you're at the school gates. They could be friends. Also, social media links you to many, many, many people. Your local community is a real seedbed of having those conversations with people and asking them to take a look at the products. In fact, everywhere we are, and everyone we know is a potential customer. So very quickly, literally within a matter of days, weeks, we can show you how to make an extra 150 to 300 a month. I mean, who'd value an extra £300 a month right now? Coming into their household. Brilliant. Well, what I want to do is invite a lady to come and share her experience with you as to how she first found the retailing side of the business. So please welcome Steph Barnsby up onto the stage.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. So my name is Steph Barnsby, as Jayne just said. I've been with the business for, it's 11 years this month. And when I first came to look at the business in February 2013, I was a bit of a crossroads in my life. I was actually 9 months pregnant at the time. I'd been working really hard and really long hours for 15 years in the corporate world. I was in recruitment. So it was one of those industries, it was a sales industry, you were only as good as your last month. And it was great while I was in my 20s and 30s. But as I was about to become a mum, my priorities had changed completely. And if I'm honest, I was looking for something, but I didn't know what. I'd looked at lots of other things, a bit like Jayne mentioned. And then I came across this opportunity through a friend of mine who, even way back then, 11 years ago, was posting some stuff about what she was doing in the health and wellness industry on Facebook. And so I thought, well, perhaps if my friend around her 2 little boys was earning a bit of extra money, recommending some health and wellness products, perhaps I could start doing something like that as well and have a bit of extra money at least for seeing me through maternity leave. So I actually came along to a presentation very much like this in London. I was 9 months pregnant, in fact I waddled along to the presentation to have a look at the business, and I'd never seen something like this before. I'd never heard of the products, I'd never tried the products, but what I saw that evening, I could see that, you know, these products are excellent quality, and it really excited me about what the potential could be. So I got started the next day, and I had a couple of months off to have my baby, but then I could see some of my colleagues in the business were recommending one of our cleanse products that Adam mentioned, which had just been launched at the time. I couldn't do it because I was pregnant and breastfeeding, so I used my husband at the time as a guinea pig, and he had got some amazing results from those products, and we started to get people asking us about them, and we started to build our first customers. I was taking products in my baby bag to mum and baby groups and talking about them, getting them out and showing them to people, and very gradually over a couple of months I started to build up a small regular customer base. And 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, the income started to grow from the products, and I started to grow in confidence about the business and what I had my hands on. And from then on, I went on to qualify as our manager position in the business, which enabled me to hand in my notice in my job within less than a year of getting started. And the following years on from there, I went on to achieve everything that Forever had to offer. And it all started with a bit of belief in perhaps I could recommend and share a few of the products, as Jayne's just told you. So thank you very much.
Thank you for that, Steph. Thank you very much. So, very simple to recommend products in the nooks and crannies of your existing daily activities. But what about sharing the business? What about finding and working with other like-minded people who maybe are looking to make a bit more money than a retail opportunity? Well, sharing the business is very, very simple. And I'm going to show you an example of what happens and the simplicity of what happens when you begin to think slightly differently, a little bit more like an entrepreneur. So I'm going to ask everybody in the room, how many of you in the room know just two people? Two people who'd like to make some extra money, £1,000, £1,200 a month. Of course, we all do, don't we? And the beauty about Forever is we work with you and we show you, we work with you to help find those two people. And the beauty about what we do is all based on duplication. And coming from a farming background, that meant a lot to me, because in farming, if you want a bigger yield, you just breed more sheep. So this made a lot of sense to me, and I hope it makes sense to you right now. We apply the power of duplication. We work with two people. We identify what's important to them, what matters most to them, and we go to work and we help them achieve an income that will allow them to enjoy what matters most. So 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8, 8 becomes 16, and you add them all together, you've got 30 people in your team, but you only found 2. We teach and train those 30 people to develop 20 customers. So if you've got 30 people all looking after 20 customers, and all those businesses are doing £500 a month turnover, you've now got a business turning over £15,000 a month, but you only did 500. But the company will pay you on the turnover of your entire business. Now, if we take an average of 8% of 15,000 is £1,200 a month. And all you've done is use the product, share the opportunity, and taught a couple of other people to do the same. Now imagine what a difference £1,200 a month would make to you right now into your bank every single month. But it doesn't stop there. Because if you can find 2, you can find 3. And if we look at the power of duplication by just adding one more key person to your business, 3 becomes 9, becomes 27, becomes 81, you add them all together, you've got 120 people in your team, but you only found 3 good people. You've got 120 people turning over £500 each per month, you've got a 60,000 a month turnover business. No staff, no stock, no offices, no premises, no overheads. Forever takes care of all of that. 8% of 60,000 is just short of £5,000 per month. Now, I want you to imagine 5,000 a month coming into your account. What kind of difference would that make in your life right now? I can tell you, it is life-changing. But don't take my word for it. What I want to do is invite someone to come and share with you her experience of building a business that yields not just this kind of income, but much, much, much more. Will you please put your hands together for one of our top FBOs in the UK, Diana Page.
When I was first shown the opportunity, the first thing that captivated me was the company ethos and the culture. It really did sound too good to be true. Because you see, I am probably like most people. When I left school, I didn't have a planned career. And I did all sorts of things, retail, customer service. I fell into a junior marketing role which is how I came to the UK 28 years ago from Canada, so that's where I'm from. And I had a really good career. From the outside looking in, everything was great, but I was really unhappy in my job. I was disillusioned with the quality of life that a 9-to-5 job could give me, and I also thought this 9-to-5 thing just isn't really fulfilling. And the natural crossroads came for me when I started a family. I've got 2 grown-up sons today, but I knew when I started my first maternity leave, I wasn't going back. But I had no idea what I was going to do, but I was open to a different way of working. And I remember my tick list. I wanted to have flexibility. I wanted to be able to fit my work around my kids, not fit my kids around my work. I wanted to still have career development. I wanted to do something that had purpose and meaning. And I wanted to be able to measure the impact I was making. And I still wanted to earn a very full-time income, but I didn't want to work the full-time hours. And I can remember my husband saying, "You have your head in the clouds, Diana." Well, you know, I've been with for over 22.5 years. And I got started, I fell in love with the product straight away, and within the first couple of years, I was earning that sort of income. Within 5 years, my husband gave up his job. That was 17 years ago. So I've had the last laugh. In terms of lifestyle, you know, I'm probably like most parents. Who's got children here? So I think all parents, doesn't matter where you're from, what language you speak, we all want the same thing for our kids, and that's to give them the best start in life, isn't it? And you know, for me that takes time, and it also takes money. People don't like to talk about that side of it, but you know, we need to fund this, giving them the best start in life. And you know, as a mum, I have 0 regrets. Forever has allowed me to give my kids the absolute best start in life, and that means private education. I've always been able to make decisions based on what we needed, not on what we can afford. And that's a big difference, isn't it? You know, I was 22 the first time I got on a plane. I had a passion for traveling, but I didn't know how I was going to fund it. So this source of income and more, you know, allowed me to travel the world, but more importantly, allowed my kids to also travel the world. And I've gone on to help my family. You know, I donated to a lot of charities. But the icing on the cake was at making an impact. You know, I'm able to measure the impact that I'm making because all of my success comes as a direct result of helping other people achieve what matters most to them. So if you're like me and you're thinking, oh, sounds too good to be true, or, you know, can I really do it? Listen, I feel like if I can do it, anybody can do it. And this source of income and more is achievable for everybody. Thank you, Jayne.
Thank you, Diana. And it doesn't stop there. If you can find 3, imagine finding 5. How many people in the room know 5 people that want to make some money and are prepared to go to work for it? Okay, let me show you something now that is incredible. The power of 5. You find 5 people, you work with them, you help them achieve what matters most and teach them to do the same by using the product, sharing the product and sharing the opportunity. All the systems are in place to help you do that. The 5 becomes 25, becomes 125, becomes 625. Add them all together, you've got 780 people in your team. 780 people turning over £500 a month, you've got a 390,000 a month turnover business, you're only doing £500. You take an average of 5%, that's £19,500 for the month. Now I know what you're thinking because I thought it too. What a load of rubbish. But I was healthily skeptical. I looked at that and I thought, wow, they're showing me how I can make more in a month than I'm kind of not making a lot more than that in a year in my job. And I thought, well, I don't know, is it like that? And then I thought, well, of course, some people will do a bit more, some will do a bit less, some will be superstars, some will be quite average, some will just do a bit. But the business on average will look like that. Then I thought, well, what if I'm only half as good? If I'm only half as good, it's 10,000 a month. What if I make a quarter as good? That's still 5,000 a month. Was I prepared to use the product, share the business to make that £5,000 a month and scale? Because that's the key to any business. Can you scale your income. And ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you there are many people in this room, been on this stage today, that have made multiples of that. But it doesn't happen overnight, it doesn't happen in a week, a month, or a year. If you want to make incomes like this, you've got to see this as your plan A. And you've got to give it the time and the respect it deserves, and in return, it will reward you handsomely. But imagine something. If you're in a job right now, have you got the chance to scale your income in the next 4, 5, 6, 7 years to make these kind of incomes? And if the answer is no, then you need an opportunity, and that opportunity is forever. It doesn't stop there. Because people do say to me, where do we find the people from to join our team? And I say, a bit like with the customers, they're everywhere around you, more so now than ever in this world that we live in. People are looking for a safe home. A home where they'll be rewarded and recognised and valued and appreciated. And there's not many of those out there. And the people that are looking, again, all around us, your personal contacts, work, gym, social media, local community, daily routine, they're everywhere. I mean, just today, chatting to one or two of the security staff when I've been in and out, I've got a handful of numbers of people that would like to look at what we do. Why? Because they're simply not rewarded. So Forever has an incredible incentive program that sort of layers the marketing model. We have what we call a Forever to Drive, and this is where you and your team do a turnover of business over any 3 consecutive months, and you can pick up to an extra £6,300 per annum to buy the car of your choice. Now, when I first started in Forever, I was driving a beaten up old Jeep full of horse tack and sheepdogs. If I wanted to wind the window down, I had to pick the handle up off the floor, slot it in and wind. It was not a very pretty car, but it was good for purpose, until I started Forever. And I used to go and see people and hide my car around the corner so they couldn't see it. And then, within 10 months of being in Forever, we earned a brand new blue Mercedes. Oh my goodness. Has anybody in this room had a brand new blue Mercedes delivered onto their driveway? The smell of a new car. It had electric windows. It had a sound system better than my house. It was beautiful. How many people in this room have picked up a car courtesy of Forever? Put your hands up. Look at that. Look around, ladies and gentlemen. Dozens of people in this room already enjoying the benefit of the car program with Forever. And this is on top of your monthly income. How many people in this room love travel? How do you like it if it's paid for by somebody else? Well, Forever have not 1, but 2 travel opportunities each year where you will get whisked away, your airfare, the best hotels, parties, training, mixing with the owners, mixing with the VPs, learning. This is Forever's investment into you. You'll go one person and come back another. It's phenomenal. Just in a few weeks, we'll be jetting off to India. And then at the end of the year, there's a cruise. Next year, we're going to Paris. Who wants to go to Paris, paid for by Forever? Why not you, and why not now? How many people in this room have enjoyed travel with Forever? Put your hands up if you have. Look around. And then, of course, there's the chairman's annual bonus, which Adam touched on very briefly. This is a company that is privately owned, so they can reinvest their money into the people that are doing the work. And at the end of each year, Forever takes a percentage of the company's turnover and shares it with the qualifying Forever business entrepreneurs and allows them to participate in the bonus scheme. And I can tell you that the amounts of money presented at the annual event, which will be in India, is life-changing. And it's there for everybody. As long as you use the product, share the opportunity, and teach others to do the same. I remember picking up my very first ever chairman's bonus check. And it was more money than I was earning in a full-time job. And you can have that as well. Now I want you to sort of compare this to your jobs. If you went to your boss tomorrow and said, "Hey boss, if I work really, really hard, can I have a new car, please? Oh, and by the way, can you fly me off to 2 global destinations every year and give me some spending money? Oh, and can I have a percentage of the company's turnover?" What would your boss say? It might be quite rude, but you just wouldn't be able to access that, would you? But here and forever, it's open to each and every one of you. We have global income streams, and this is incredible. In this digital world that we live in, the ability to reach out to people that you know in other countries, where we have a presence, will enable you to build a global business. And to put it into context, I've built a business now in over 40 countries around the world. That means 40 paychecks every month. Now, some of them are tiny, $30, $40, $50. And some of them are multiples, hundreds, thousands of dollars each month. Which means that we are not location dependent. You can be sat on the beach, working on your smartphone, working on your laptop. You can take a bit of time out to go and play with the kids, come back, pick up and start talking to people. How many of you would value building global, multiple income streams? I want you to think about it because it's incredible. And then we have something called a willable asset. This is a legacy business, a business that you can build now and leave generational. Imagine being able to build a business that will outlive you and benefit the next generation and the next generation. This is incredible. And I want to invite a young man onto the stage now to share his experience with you. And whilst it might be difficult, it is an unbelievable gift that he has as a result of his mum saying yes many years ago. So please give a very warm welcome to Felix Lloyd. Okay?
Good evening. My name is Felix Lloyd Davies. I am the son of Deborah Lloyd, who started a Forever Living business in 1993. Through the example set by Rex and many of the other leaders, she built up a business, a big business that lasted and stood the test of time for 30 years until now, where I have had the opportunity to grow up, going on these amazing trips every year, seeing amazing places and making amazing memories. Sadly, in 2021 she passed away, but after experiencing that as well, I was left this forever business. And I can say from my personal experience that Forever has done, I can really say it's done 3 main things for me that have changed my life insurmountably. It gave me the chance to have an amazing youth and to grow up going on these amazing trips and making memories and learning about the world of business. It gave me time. When my mum passed away, it gave me time to figure out what I wanted to do with my life after that. And since May last year, I decided I was going to be successful in Forever just like her. And it has given me that passion that many of the people who have been on stage today will tell you there's nothing like. To me, that's the power of Forever. Thank you.
And that was not easy for that young man, but what a wonderful legacy. His mum, who I knew very well, a wonderful woman, what a wonderful legacy to be able to leave to her son, who will now step into his own brilliance and build his business with forever, alongside picking up on the income that she built. Truly phenomenal. And alongside that, you get personal development, coaching, mentoring, teaching, training. So how do we get started in the business? Well, we have this amazing kit. It's called Start Your Journey Box. It contains 10 of the fastest selling products here in the UK duplicated. So you get some to use and some to retail immediately. So very quickly you can get a return on your investment and be into pure profit. You also get a global business license, which means immediately that you register with the company and get your box, you can build a business here and anywhere around the world. You can also have a blueprint for success. You just slot into the system and you're up and running. You get a personal coach and business mentor, alongside support materials, a phenomenal supportive community, your own e-commerce store, as well as all of the marketing materials you need to get started. And all of this comes in a pack for less than £200 with a money-back guarantee. So I want you to think about that. Where in the world do you know where you can buy a box, a ready-made business off the shelf, for less than £200 with money-back guarantee and achieve all that matters most to you? You know, when we empty this box and we see all the products and the literature on there, you probably think I'm holding an empty box. But I'm not holding an empty box. This box contains your dreams. This box is your future. It's your financial stability. It's the time with your loved ones. It's a new home. It's a change of direction. It's making a difference. It's giving back to others. It's about being an entrepreneur, being in control of your destiny, rather than leaving your destiny in the hands of somebody else. I invested in this box all those years ago, and I now have a business which spans over 40 countries and does millions of turnover each and every year. Millions. And all I've done is use the product, share the opportunity, and teach others to do the same. So you're all sitting here right now and you're thinking, sounds incredible. The company's amazing, the products are amazing, the money potential's amazing, the box to get started is incredible. I know what matters most to me, but will it work for me? And it's a question that will be going around in your minds, and I can tell you from experience, as could Adam, Diana, Steph, and any host of people in this room, it will work for you if you take it seriously. We don't play. This is a serious business that will give you serious results. You need to have a deep down burning desire for something that matters to you. For me, it was private education for my kids to be financially free and to earn more in a month than my ex-husband earned in a year. You need to commit the time required to building a business. Rome wasn't built in a day. Put the foundations in place, learn the skills needed, and grow and grow and grow. You need to be self-motivated, and please work closely with the person who's invited you to be a part of Forever. They genuinely want to help you. And then you need to have a great attitude. Some people's attitude is so bad they only brighten up a room and they leave it. Do not be one of those people. If you bring all those ingredients together, then we know that you will achieve what matters most to you. So all that's left to do is to say, if you love what you've seen, then get back to the person who invited you. We have a phenomenal incentive for all of you here tonight. You can register out in the foyer, you can get your box ordered, you can get your ID number, and also we're giving away tonight a special package which contains some of our literally world-leading collagen sachets, enough for 15 days, and a hydrating serum. You get all of that free alongside your Start Your Journey pack. So there is no risk, but there's everything to go for. So in closing, I'd just like to say thank you for your time. We appreciate it. Time is valuable. And every time we present this business, I believe that we take away something from each and every one of you. You're probably thinking, is it my wallet? Is it my purse? No, it's not that. We take away from you the right to ever say anytime, any place, anywhere again that you were never given a chance, you were never given an opportunity, because tonight I believe with all of my heart we have shared with you the finest opportunity in the world, bar none. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Please come into the foyer, try our products, get yourself registered, have a safe journey home, and I hope you don't sleep a wink all night because you're excited about your future and the possibilities that lie ahead. On behalf of myself and Adam, Felix, Steph and Diana, thank you very much.